of the game when it gets really, really frantic and the defense turns up 19 notches. What's his Kawhi move? Like Kawhi did that move where they took the lead when I think it was 154, 152. They set him the pick and he has that little kind of half speed at his own pace, 1998 Michael Jordan little fall away jumper that he can hit whenever he wants, basically. What's Giannis's version of that move? I still don't think he has it. Do you?
Can I just answer that with a question? Are you coming to a Giannis playoff take from the end of the All-Star game?
I'm saying it rekindled my memory of what worried me about them last year in the playoffs. When the defense got really good and he didn't have that out pitch that I think you kind of need as like the alpha dog, best guy in the team. What's his move? What's it going to be? What does he have? Even Embiid, that one time when he took LeBron down and did that little up and under fall away shot, at least that was like a move. Like he created a shot. With the Giannis thing, like what is it going to be ultimately? And can you take him out of the last 5 minutes of a playoff game? From what I still haven't seen enough from him that makes me think he has gone to another level offensively as that kind of guy, I guess is my point.
You know what? I'm kind of kidding around a little bit because it just sounds funny. Because, if you're a Bucks fan right now, you're like, you guys, I can't believe like you're coming up with this conclusion after an All-Star game. But with all these teams, new is hard, and they've had one little playoff run with him, and we know it's all, new still, and he's relatively young. But I do think better prepared teams, smarter teams kind of do that wall defensively where it's like, you're not just going to be able to run coast to coast every single time and dunk on everybody. And, are you going to win 16 games that way? I wouldn't sit here and say I definitively know that they can't do that because then I can point out all the flaws of the other teams that are supposedly in their way. But it is worth, like, it's kind of our long-standing thing the last couple of years is looking at regular season teams going, is this going to look this way in the playoffs, and spreading it out and having almost this point guard center that has the ball and kicks it out to everybody. Like if they shoot it well enough, it's not going to matter because you're not going to be able to help off of those guys.
Good point.
What I mean? It's almost like it's kind of like the Harden thing where Harden's so amazing because he can hit that shot and drive and it's spread out. But Giannis is so physically dominating over those guys that it's just like, okay, well, how do we want to play it? Because there's going to be nights where we help off of him and we get burnt. There's going to be nights where we help off of him and we clog him up and some guys miss some shots and then maybe win a playoff game. So I couldn't say definitively I know either way, but I do think it's a fair point. It's a fair point about a lot of these teams because you just haven't seen one version of this run all the way and win a title.
And Philly's another one like that. When the defense gets like what it got like in the last 5 minutes, what is our offense going to look like? The early reports are not great. Empty out your notebook. What else do you have?
Okay, highlight, funniest moment of the night was Reggie Miller saying, "You trying to tell me that these teams don't want to win?" Beat, and then Marv Albert says to him, deadpan, "Is someone telling you that they're not into it?" That was sneaky from Marv. I wasn't expecting that from him tonight.
I also liked when the producers were just telling Reggie Miller, like, look, every time Marv gets Tatum and Simmons confused, can you just step in and just kind of correct it without embarrassing him? And then they would do that. And then the other funny part for me was when I informed you in house 2 hours into the game by text that Grant Hill was one of the three announcers. Neither of you had any idea.
I just was, I was locked in on my notes. So
what else did you have?
I kept coming up with bad TV producer who doesn't really understand sports segment ideas at the pre-show pitch tomorrow morning. Are you ready for these?
Yeah.
Okay. Number one, I'm sitting around. I'm there with my talent. I'm there with the APs. We got a key grip guy in there, and I'm just a terrible producer. Somehow I have this job though, and I'm like, all right, guys. Does this mean Kemba's not a one?
Okay. What else?
All right.
I like this.
Right. The next one is, where does Harden rank in Clutch Gene?
Clutch Gene? Clutch Gene rankings?
Yeah, Clutch Gene ranking for Harden. Here's a good one. From what we saw from Tatum and Ben Simmons, does that mean that they should play together at some point?
Oh, maybe they will. Yeah.
That's not even that one good. I'll close on a good one here. Okay. Do we think in the next CBA, because of how hard these guys played, we should revisit how hard they should have to play?
Well, it is funny if you're a Clipper fan and you've gone to like 5 home games this year that Kawhi at the last minute was like, I'm good, I'm not playing. And then you watch him go play 30 plus minutes in the All-Star game tonight. Probably be a bummer.
I don't think he was 20 minutes. The guys, when you look at the minute numbers here, there's actually not, like, the numbers aren't nearly as high as you would think.
But it was weird because now, if we were just playing pickup, you and I both play basketball.
Yeah, a lot of basketball. There's
no TV timeouts. There's no stops. There's no free throws. And you're just kind of going for 25 minutes, 30 minutes, however long the game takes, right? In this game, they said it was a commercial-free fourth quarter. And everybody put their crunch time guys in when it was like 140, something like that. And the guys were out there a while, like going back and forth, playing pretty hard. And I actually thought that some subs were needed. At some point, me and House were joking about Nick Nurse was trying to run Embiid into the ground, hoping for some wear and tear. Like like Brent
he
Brown.
Played 29.
Yeah, Brent.
Like Embiid, here's this guy who's on minutes restrictions, resting him whenever they can in his whole career, and he plays 29 minutes tonight.
And it was a hard 29.
And that guy was dying at the end.
Nick Nurse was disappointed there wasn't overtime. He could have put 5 more minutes on Embiid. There's a decent chance Nick Nurse bet on LeBron's team. I don't want to accuse him. I'm just saying there's some shaky Nick Nurse today. And I think he's the best coach in the league. But the Siakam Lowry playing 2 of your guys in crunch time is like some fucking 1980s shit. That's like what Billy Cunningham used to do. When he would like just load the team with Sixers.
With the Sixers?
And shit like that.
Bobby Jones is out there. Like, he played 38 minutes tonight? Like, what?
Why do you think we settled on 157, just out of curiosity? Did they explain that?
I meant to clean that up for you. Remember, it was, you go by quarter, but you keep a running total. So at the end of 3 quarters, it was 133, 124 Giannis. And then because of Kobe Bryant, they added 24 points.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
So it wasn't automatically get to 157. It was 24 plus the team that was winning.
Got it. Well, when Marv tried to explain it at the beginning of the fourth quarter, it was rocky, and I ended up having to go to Google. No offense to Marv. It's just I needed a little more elucidation. I was confused. And the TNT, they were never running scores for some reason at any point during not scores, stats. We had like Kawhi could have had 65 points. I would have no idea. They never would have mentioned it. But
by the way, it's a really good point though on the TV timeout thing, because I timed it, just nerded out over here.
Yeah.
Where I wanted to see just how long in real time that fourth quarter took. It took almost 42 minutes.
Really?
So that's 42 minutes.
Oh my God!
They brought LeBron in because like red team there, Team Giannis had most of their guys already in, and LeBron came in at 141, 136. So they were down 5, and then that's when he like loaded it back up with everybody. But that's a really long.
Yeah,
it feels
that's
like,
bad.
I don't know that. Is there a real time? Like that's going to be the zag to this whole thing, is that there's guys just typing away rest pieces all week now going, I know everyone liked it, but wouldn't it have been more fun for people to not play?
Right. Did we need more load management? All right. I think we hit everything on that.
We're good.
Let's take a break, and then we're going to talk about the dunk contest. Dunk contest. I have 2 questions in a row. How can we fix it? ? And then, do we even care? ? Which one do you want to answer first?
I'll answer the second one. Don't fix it. It's for kids. People seem to enjoy it. I was in the building last night in Chicago. I flew back this morning. They keep trying to fix it a million different ways. The one thing I did say with my buddies, I was sitting there, I go, you should just give like a mystery voter and just change it every time, and a chance that person can have 11. And it's only one person that can use the 11. But I don't know if that just means everybody would get 51s. I think there's a way to change the voting thing, because everything's just sort of a 50. And then at the end, they're kind of like, all right, well, let's not give somebody a 50 because we keep giving out 50s.
Right.
And, as nasty as Jones is as a dunker, he just kept doing variations of in between the legs thing. And I don't want to dump on him because he's sick. And in the building, it's actually a little bit cooler than you would think. I mean, I normally don't care, but I don't want to ever complain about All-Star Weekend, because I think it's about kids kind of having fun and the league celebrating itself and the players all getting to hang out. I really think that's what it is. So I'm not going to sit here and dump on it.
I think there's 2 very simple tweaks. I've been advocating them for years. Nobody listens to me. We need to increase it to 100 points, not 50. I think that solves every problem we have. everybody, great. You have the 5 judges, and everybody goes from 1 to 20 points. And if somebody misses a dunk, it just you can't get a 20. You can only get a 19, and you do it that way. I just think that would make it a lot easier. I mean, yesterday was ridiculous. I don't know how Pat Connaughton didn't make the finals. His 2 dunks were really good. He did the white man can't jump. He made the first one immediately. There's not enough nuance with the 50. It becomes too bizarre. That would be one thing. Here's the other thing I just thought of last night. You've seen that show Masked Singer, right?
Yes, I tape it every week.
Okay. So you have the 5 judges. I think they're all in disguises. We don't know who they are. And then the anonymity, would allow more them to not be peer pressured into 10s, or in this case 20s. And then you'd have the judge yesterday who were like, "Oh man, I can't wait to find out who screwed over Aaron Gordon." And then they take off their mask and it's like, "Oh my God, it's Karl Malone. I can't believe he did that." I think it would be exciting. I would be excited for the mask reveal each time. You're not with me.
No, I'm just trying to think of like judges. You'd be like, "Oh my God." It's almost like the end of Scooby-Doo. And you're like, "It's Mr. Belvedere. He gave him a 40.
It's Greg Popovich. So I don't know. I do think that the 50 thing is really dumb, and they should just go to 100. It's fine. It's
I'm
okay
afraid
to
if you
change
do
it.
the 100 thing, maybe, but then they might just give everybody hundreds. And then you feel like, okay, well, if I gave somebody a 50 early on because you're excited and it's an early dunk, and then the crowd playing up to it because they're excited and the whole thing started. And then you feel like, well, hell, like I gave that guy a 50, but this one was maybe better, so I still have to give it a 50 again. I can't believe somebody didn't try like two-handed from the free throw line. But I got in there late. I mean, that was another thing. And I did think it was funny. A couple black guys that I was sitting next to, like, had said hello, and they were cool as hell Chicago guys. And they go, like, "Man, Pat Connaughton, your boy was robbed."
Your boy.
And I go, "Yeah, well, I don't know. Yeah, I get where you're going with that conclusion. But I go, normally, like the white guys, like they kind of get boosted in this setting where there's almost this like sympathy vote for the white dunker."
Yeah.
And the guys were like, "Man, he got robbed." And I was like, "All right, appreciate that."
I don't know where that ranked in the greatest white guy dunking performances we've had, but like Brent Barry won it one year, and I felt like Connaughton was a little more impressive. I was really jacked up watching him. The funny thing though is he brings out Giannis, and he's going to jump over Giannis. And if I'm a Bucks fan, I'm having a stroke. I'm like, you couldn't use one of the Lopez brothers? Like, really? We have to bring out Giannis? What if he ends up giving Giannis whiplash and Giannis is out for 20? I don't want Giannis near anybody jumping in All-Star Weekend. That would be my one suggestion. But
I would also, if I'm Taco Fall, I'm like, yeah. Oh, what do you want to do? You want to drag your balls across my head?
Yeah, what's
Cool.
fun about that? Oh, cool. Ass sweat. Great.
Like, I'm trying to go out. I want to go out later.
Well, that was,
that
was the third question I had for you. At what point is jumping over someone leading to the worst sports accident we've had since Clint Molarchek was cut by the skate? Because I feel like we're getting closer and closer to an absolute catastrophe, and it's going to happen. Somebody is going to wipe out on one of these, and it's going to be absolutely awful. And Taco Fall is 7'5". At some point, how high are we going to go here? It makes me nervous.
Absolutely right. No, now that we've got Taco Fall in the mix.
That's it. Ban these dunks now.
Right.
Yeah, no more.
Right.
No more.
Right.
Stop jumping.
It's like a state that's like, you don't have to wear a helmet anymore on a motorcycle. Like, live free or die.
Yeah.
That kind of deal. Can I do my little rant though on what happened that night? Because this is bad. This is pretty bad.
Oh, is this when you're trying to go ahead?
Yeah, well, I think the timing of it's good. I'll be quick. So I was with two buddies, and I was in charge of getting the tickets. So I paid for the tickets, and let me just tell you that they weren't cheap. So I wasn't getting like the Russillo comp thing on anything. And I was running around all day, had a couple things I had to go to, Woj Pod, had this media jam thing that I did a little bit later. It was kind of fun. And then, dinner. And then I knew once we went to the Drake Hotel, and I don't know if anybody understands the Drake Hotel and the executive, it's almost like bottle service for each individual person. They just bring you out like a goblet. And I was like, okay, well, I go, I'm going to, take it easy because I got an early flight tomorrow. And my buddies were like, we're not taking it easy. And I'm like, yeah, no, I get it. And then I'm like, at some point, like, I know I don't care about the skills comp, but let's get over there, like end of 3-point competition, whatever. And they're like, no problem. And, the night's dragging a little bit. So we finally get over there, but we're still like 30, 40 minutes out from the start of the dunk contest. And the